it's day 4, just got done working out. I'm almost ready, and I've got less than 15 minutes to get out the door, do some laundry, change a child, figure this out. We all do, right? Okay, so not sure what's gonna come of this mess, but okay, so when I look at this look, what I'm not liking is this, and as we get closer you can see it's just kind of like, I love all of this and this. Actually, I like this side better, but this is causing me not to like my hair, and I'm sure it's really split down the back. So I'm gonna brush out my hair. I'm not gonna panic. I don't have time to wash it. It is what it is, and I'm still gonna look great. So I'm going to just brush through, being gentle. I have a sensitive head, so when I make faces, it's not because I'm being mean to my hair, it's just the sensitive here. So notice I brush it until I get to a snarl, and then I patiently comb out the bottom. That's going to keep you from breaking your hair off. For our fragile clients, it's a necessity. You cannot just go right through it. Back is probably the most fun. Although it feels good to brush my hair. Okay. So I am brushed out now. And I look totally different. So, I was complaining about this area here. So what I'm probably going to do is take sections and back comb it, and then I'll finish this somehow with some hairspray. I don't think I'll add curl. I kind of like the very softness of it. If I could just add a little shine and get it to shape in there. Just kind of scrunching it. So, first part I'm going to do is I'm going to back comb. But what you want to back comb as you're trying to create a Brillo pad or like a sponge that all looks the same. And then you're combing out the top, not into it. So you always start from the front and move your way back. Otherwise you get those separations where this piece is back comb but this piece isn't. And if you like that look, it's totally great. I want it to be a little bit more formed. So I'm going to start with my boar bristle brush. Sorry, it's a little hairy. I'm going to grab my hair. And there's some people that don't brush through their hair and they just do this. I just can't seem to do it. So I want it to stand up. Okay, and you'll notice that I did 10 pumps, and now I'm going to do 10 more pumps. But now I'm going to marry this together. So you bring that, you pull it together, and then you're going to do 10. And then I'm going to grab some more hair. And I'm doing about, it's probably like a ½ inch section. Sometimes I take smaller, sometimes I take bigger. It just really depends how particular I want it. But today, it's kind of a busy day. I want it to stay together. So I'm going around the flat of my head, the colic. And I'm trying to basically base this part, so back comb this part and bring it together. You can see that's not brought together, but it's okay. I'm not going to panic about it. So now, you can see I got really big hair. And some people might even go a little further into this. I don't usually, but I'm going to today. I'm going to marry it together. And I'm always just brushing out those ends. My dog is drinking out of the shower. Okay, there it is. Pretty big, what do you think? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fingers, actually before my brush, and just kind of play with it. See what's happening. So I'm kind of like making a curtain on top. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Doesn't matter matter what's happening underneath as long as it looks good from the view that you see. Now I'm not pushing in and combing through. I'm brushing like just the very tops to kind of pull down those fuzzies. I got a little bump here. So I might have to do a little bit more work pulling down the back. And I'm trying not to brush it all out. Sometimes I switch my part, my bangs, so it looks different. So just switching it up. And now that you can't see my part, a straight line down, it's not as dramatically flat looking. Oh, love that. I wonder who's here. Or driving by, drive a dog to bark. Okay. So, if you want to pull it down more, you could. Just really just got to play with it. And it's like molding. So I feel like what a lot of people can get confused on is hair is like clay. It's just a lot of little pieces that you're trying to figure out how to clump them together. So I'm doing less combing through and trying to control and doing more, okay, I like what that's doing, let's scrunch it in. So when I'm looking at my hair, I'm looking at this. I'm not looking at this or how greasy this is or anything else. I want to make sure there's not a part in the back, but I'm not trying to be overly critical. The more critical you are, the more you comb it out, the flatter it gets, and the less it looks like you did anything to your hair. So go big or go home and mold it and look at this shape. And I actually really like what I'm seeing. Back, on the other hand, I'm probably going to have to work a little bit. And the only way I do that is use a mirror, turn around, look at it, put my finger where it is, fix it. Fix the problem. Don't get crazy and brush it all out. Because that's just wasting your time. So that's all I got for you. It took me about 7 minutes, so sorry about that. But I'm on day 4 and hanging in there. One more day, probably a ponytail, let's be honest. I'll see you later.